What is the role of couples in their marriages, the different partners in the marriages? This is K24 this morning, of course. Talking about relationships, we like talking about you and your partner. How are things there, by the way? Let us know. Here's our question of the day. What are the roles of each individual in a relationship? What are the roles of each individual in a relationship? Right there, let us know on WhatsApp. Alafu pia tupigie simu. I would like to hear your thoughts. But let's take a look at WhatsApp, Kiasi, as we move on. Morning, guys. Would like to wish all men happy Men's Day, and to you all men in studio. Well, thank you. Hey, Mbuvi, I love your discussion today. For both of you to do chores or share things and moments together, you first of all need to be friends before you even get married. You become friends first and share visions and missions together. Start projects together and share friendship. Okay, true story. Thank you for that. Hi, guys. Charles from Mololongo. Kindly, Mbuvi, here in Ukambani. Men carrying babies on their back is not a role, it's a problem. Yeah? Okay. Men should stop being selfish. They expect us to do our roles and also chip in doing their roles. They are the heads, but I think most of their heads have brain tumor. They'll leave the house to go and watch football and live to do their roles of giving security to the house. And when bills come, they want us to pay. Sisi pia tutaenda chama wakilipa hizo bills. Okay. All right. Hapo kwa tumor kidogo. For as long as husbands love their wives like Christ loved the church, then wives won't be overwhelmed. Women, on the other hand, must take up their place in the home and give her special touch to it. I believe we must be accommodative of one another and do less of finger pointing in this generation. Sharon and Ruaka. All right, thank you, Sharon, and of course everyone else who's texted. Kuna jamaa hapo amesema daktari, anabeba watoto sana kwa mgongo yake. Kuna shida tukibeba watoto?
You know what I've said? There are roles that come from the traditional backgrounds. You find every community will have their roles that women have got to do this. Now, you can't move in and say that you're going to change. There are places, I remember one place I went to, and the woman is the one who has the kibeti. She has all the money. The man, when he gets the money, he gives the woman.
Yes.
So every toll station you are passing, the woman will pay. When you go to a restaurant, the woman will pay. And the man was happy. Now bring it here in Kenya, and the woman is paying everything. If there will be an issue, because the man wants to take charge. Now, if you go there and you preach that they change their roles, it may bring an instability in marriage.
Right.
So we need to understand every community has got the roles that they cherish. But I believe in all those roles that we may embrace, there are things that a man must do. Just like what Dr. Jane was saying, a woman is a climate controller.
Yes.
A man must be the protector. And when we talk about protection, we're talking on the spiritual level, on a physical level. Now, I wouldn't imagine somebody harassing my wife, then me taking off. No matter the size of the man.
Yes.
I would have to take my place to make sure that I protect her if it is physical and ensure that she's okay.
Yeah.
Now, a man
a
man who runs away from the role of protecting
yes.
then has absconded a big thing. Now, you have also to be the person who provides. And there is a man who said that due to the reality of what is happening, women also have got the equal opportunities.
Okay.
Some of them are making more money than even the man. But whatever you do as a man, you have to be felt.
Yes.
You have to pay the bills that you can be able to pay. But now, that does not mean that the woman undermines you.
Yes.
She has to understand that this is an opportunity that has come. And that's where the term helper comes in. There are moments you may look at a situation. I was with a certain couple and they were saying the way the man has not had a job for over 10 years. The woman has been helping and helping.
Yes.
But eventually what has happened, out of the help, suddenly the man has gotten a very wonderful, lucrative opportunity. And what has happened is that the man went out and bought a wonderful gift, a very expensive gift for the wife, because he has, the guy was saying, you have helped me all this year. 10 years, you have worked hard, you have gone to work, you have paid the bills, I've tried getting jobs, I couldn't get jobs, but eventually I saw you stand as a woman. Now, the man realizes that the woman has stood. The other families did not realize that the man was doing his part. And that is what we say. A woman needs to realize that a man may have his down moments. But if you stand there and you do your part, you keep on helping that man, eventually rise up. But I have a problem with a man who says, now I'm helped for life. Sitafuti kazi, mimi kukula tu ya you need to put an effort in everything that you are doing, because you will also discourage that woman. And there are some men who will sit back and even keep on abusing the woman. When she cooks food, even when she's tired, anakuja na unasikia anasema hii chakula yako ina chumvi mingi, and the guy is not even earning.
Hata si tamu.
Hata si tamu. And he's
not
even
unapimia nani nyama? Nyanya. Hata nyama.
No, that man has not understood the benefit of having a helper in the house.
Okay.
And he needs just to change his mentality on that.
Dr. Jane, there's a question I was asking you earlier on when we were off air. You meet a woman, this woman, her entire life, she has lived in a bubble. She has had probably servants her entire life. And hata hajui kuweka credit, ni wale wanaita ni scratchia, because hajui hata venye credit inaekangwa, unacheki. And then this woman is probably a lovely woman, and she's lovable, she's pretty. She deserves love, and I hook up with such a woman. Lakini sasa tukifika pale nyumbani, hajui kupika, hajui hata kulea mtoto, hajui kufua nguo, hajui. So how do we deal with that situation?
Yeah, now, such situations happen, especially when you're on two different social ladders. And social meaning economic. Because most of those, they've got an expectation to hook up with the people whom they link up with, also in bubbles. All right? So they'll marry them and find a home that is made. There are people to do this, there's a nanny to do this, and there's a chef to do that. And so usually they hook up with people who are in the same social status, because they go with them to the same schools. They don't go to government primary. They just don't go to ordinary group of schools. They go to certain caliber of schools. Right. Right. So that's where they meet their people.
Yes.
But peradventure, they're employed here and they meet a man like Mbuvi.
Right.
What happens? Number one, before you marry her, that's where counseling comes in. Premarital, because those are things that should be handled.
Yes.
Most wise ladies prefer to learn how to cook. Basic.
Yeah.
I've seen it happening where they say, I'm ready to be taught. In essence, I'm ready to come to where you are, and I'm ready to make life happen. And most of them are in the bubble, not by choice, but because that's where they were born.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
But they're flexible enough to become, because they love the man.
Okay.
And so it doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It does, but there's got to be a lot of patience and a lot of input of love extra. Because there are times you'll eat the food and you'll be thinking, why are you mocking me? These are burnt offerings.
Yes.
And she's thinking the chapati is so good, but ni mabati. So you need a lot of patience.
Even if they tortillas.
It's harder than a tortilla because it's black. So yeah, so you need to have a lot of patience, a lot of love, and grow with her.
Right.
Not only can she be taught, but also be a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, but remember, baseline is patience.
But Dr. Julius, let me ask you, because she's talking about the patience and the love, and, you know, lazima umpeleke, hata kama ni wewe utamfunza pole pole. But even there are men who are like that. And you know, there's a certain age you cannot teach a man some things. For instance, the age I am at right now, it will be hard for you to teach me how to be a man, how to provide for my family, if I didn't learn it from back in the day. You know, if I didn't see my friends do it, or my parents do it, or my uncles do it. There are men, like you're saying, they are weak. Yeye akisikia mlango imenokiwa, endo ufungue. Ikifika wakati wa kulipa rent, pesa hauna pesa, anakwambia wewe na wewe umetengeneza ngapi mwezi, lipa your rent. Unajua? They won't take up their role. How do you have such a person? As you're thinking about that answer, let's answer Timothy from Machakos. Timothy, good morning.
Morning, habari yako?
Mimi niko salama sana. What is your question or comment?
Salimia kina Pastor Julius hapo.
Amesalimika.
Sasa mimi,
yes.
Mimi niko na bibi
Okay.
Na nilioa bibi ambaye alikuwa ameolewa na jamaa mwingine.
All right.
Na tumekaa kwa ndoa miaka 7.
Okay, congratulations.
Nimejaliwa mtoto mmoja. Lakini ule bibi mimi sisikii kwa roho yangu nilikuwa nampenda.
Okay.
Yaani sijihisi. Nimefanya mambo mengi. Ndio hii uhusiano wetu uweze kuwa, yaani vile unaweza tosheka ukiwa na kitu. mimi najisi kuna mwanadamu mwingine alikuwa anataka kuoa. Sasa huyo ndio nasikianga akiwa katika roho yangu.
Okay.
Hebu ambia Pastor Julius na Pastor Jane waniambie mimi naweza hiyo kitu naweza toa namna gani katika roho yangu.
Okay. Asante sana Timothy. Asante Timothy.
Sawa.
Okay. I feel like that's a different topic by itself. I feel like that's a different topic, but guzia hiyo, then we revert back to the other one.
Now, I thank Timothy for being so genuine, because there are so many people in marriages who are faking it. There are men who don't love their wives, there are women who don't love their whatever, their husbands,
yeah.
because something died in them. But I will say, if Timothy, you would only go back to where it started. You didn't pick that woman because you hated her. True. You picked her because there was something that you liked in her. And it's only that you began to focus on other things. Now, if you begin to focus on that thing, probably you left her because of maybe a physical feature or a character that she had. And now, because you have discovered some other flaws, you now begin to change your focus. Now, one thing is to change your focus and begin to look at what you like, because you didn't marry her because you hated her. Number two, your mind. There is what we call the principle of replacement.
Yes.
Now, if you keep on meditating on someone that you wanted to marry,
this other woman,
she will be, you know, what you focus becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're focusing on the other woman you wanted to marry. Now, the more you keep on focusing on her, the more you still feel that you want to be with her. But if you decide to focus on this one that you have and begin to work with her, begin to cherish her, it is a choice, Timothy. You can live in that marriage and be unhappy, and you can live in that marriage and be the happiest man, if only you begin to focus on the right thing. Wacha nikwambie, if you are also to hear the wife that you have there talking about, now she doesn't like you, and you discover that, it would hurt your heart.
Obvious.
So the thing is, focus on the things that you liked about her and begin to fund them. Unajua kupepeta?
Ziwake moto tena.
Ziwake moto tena. And you will suddenly find that you are once again in love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Timothy, would you like to add on to anything for Timothy?
I'll just have, perhaps I want to tell people, when you move on, do not get somebody because you are bleeding to ease your bleed and you end up marrying them. Before you get into any relationship, heal the wound so that you can make an informed decision. However, that they're already together, you can love her. Focus, as Dr. has said, on one thing that makes you happy. And if there's something in her that stole the love, tell her this is what I want you to rekindle. Yeah, just speak to her. Let her become who you want her to become. And I'm very sure one day he'll say, I married the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a topic. Anyway, the man mwenye anashindanga kitumana mlango ifunguliwe, hata kwenda kwa duka haezi enda, ikifika, yani he's basically the opposite of the woman that, you know, she was talking about.
No, I will say this. You buy something, when you take something, you got to count the cost. Now, before you marry that man, probably you had seen some of those symptoms. Za woga. Now, you either choose to work on those, improving that person, or improving yourself.
Okay.
You know, there are some things you look at and you say, this, my wife will never change, or my husband will never change. I will live with it. So you choose to live with that and be positive about it. Now, the next thing, the other thing, I will say, there is nobody, let me tell you, my brother Mbuvi, there is nobody who cannot learn a new thing.
True.
Today we have old men and old women who are using Android phones, iPhones and all that. But because they chose in their minds that every new technology that will come, I will not be left behind. I will keep on improving. There is no man who cannot learn how to provide for the family. There is no woman who cannot be able to learn how to help. Something, just attend, learn to read, learn to change your mind. No matter how old you are, you can wake up to a new reality and change the way you look at things. Yes.
Because, you know, there are very many, there's a certain age, and probably you can agree or disagree with me, Dr. There's a certain age you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Kama ujamaa hajai change bulb, ataanza kuzichange leo. Kama mwanamke hajai pika, utaanza kumlazimisha. And you know there are women who are like, mimi kama mwezi nenda. do we say that then it gets to a point whereby you can actually call this marriage quits because now you've realized who you are eating, as in he will never be the man that I want. He'll never be that strong individual that I want. He'll never defend me. Hata huku barabarani nikiongeleshwa vibaya, he just walks past like nothing has happened. Could there be time to just call it quits and say, I'm done?
Let me say this. You never marry a perfect person, and life is dynamic. We keep learning, we keep growing. And if there is no learning, then there is no growth.
Just hold on to that. We have a Claire from Kisii. Claire, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Claire, what is your question or comment?
Thank you for the show. I think I'm learning.
Asante.
And I really wanted to ask, I also have a question on the same.
Okay.
Okay. Or in a family.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that we men do expect a lot from these men? Mm-hmm. Or is it that we get into marriage without knowing our roles?
Mm.
Because at times you feel like you are lost in between this marriage and the roles.
Yes.
You feel like you're doing a lot, and the partner is not part of what you're doing.
Okay.
So I really want Pastor to help us so that we can really know what are our roles and what do we expect from our partners. Because some of our partners are absentees. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I believe you can actually tangle that answer into this one because you're saying you do not marry a perfect person.
Yeah. And I say this one thing. Everybody can learn based on how you approach your teaching program, quote unquote. Perhaps you want to teach the man to be a bit more aggressive because he was brought up in a very mellow way, because we are who we were brought up to become. And so we have ingrained that in our minds. So to change it takes, I say, two things. Number one, patience
and love.
And a lot of love. And then communication, where you don't show the person the weakness, that you're weak because you're of this, but you show them, I would wish you were more like this. You get what I'm saying? Because all these problems that you're facing in relationships are based on one thing, that we never speak. And we expect our partner to be understanding, this is a problem that I'm going through, these are the challenges, this is how I see you, because everybody is perfect in their own eyes. So I want to tell Claire one thing. It's important to have, we say, a married vision. You and your spouse from day one, and if it is not there, then begin to marry your visions.
Okay.
Sell your vision to him. Put it on the table. Let him come with his vision. Marry them together. Agree on short-term, mid-term, and long-term.
Okay.
What are our goals and objectives? Because that helps you to work together. In the one person's weakness may be the other person's strength.
True.
And then you begin to appreciate that he's not as aggressive as I am in one area, but he's sharper in one area than I am. We need also not to stereotype men and women's roles.
Yes.
We need to understand as individuals, my strength is his compatibility, perhaps of a weakness, and vice versa. And when I focus more on his strength, we are able to walk far.
And for Claire, who has said that she feels as though she's doing so much, because I believe she's speaking for herself, it's like there's so much expectation on the man, and the man is not delivering.
That's where communication comes in. That's where communication comes in. And you don't tell him you're not delivering, but you sit with him politely and tell him, these are our expectations. And you start it with this, what do you expect of me? Let him say what he expects of you.
Okay.
So that now you can vice versa tell him, this is what I expect of you, so that this relationship goes to the next level.
Dr. Julius, the same Claire asked, so the conversation of what do I expect, what do you expect, should this, because sometimes I can marry an aggressive woman.
Yes.
She's always cooking for you, and she's doing these things for you, and she's cleaning the house, and watoto wako sawa, blah, blah, blah. Then 5-10 years into the marriage, like Timothy was telling us from Machakos, 7 years down, I realized sasa hapa ni kama ili kitu nilioa, si kile nilikuwa nataka. So what happens at that particular juncture? Do you sit again and tell this person that look, we talked about expectations when we started, and this is not happening? Or do you now start saying, hapa, mtu wangu, kaende tumezoea?
No, you know one thing that has lacked in many relationships, it's what we call reviews. You find people will always sit on the table when they have an issue, but they will never sit on the table when they are happy, and probably now just discuss a few issues and say, how can we make our marriage better? And that's a beautiful question, because every man, every woman in a marriage would want their marriage to be better. And if you are to create moments where you say we are going out and just talking about how can we make our marriage better, and you don't bring complaining, you bring now positive mentality to that conversation. You know, you'll discover a lot of things because of positivity will begin to happen. But now, if you go to that woman and you tell her, you know, you cook so badly that probably I think I hate your food. Now, she will not think of cooking well because you have entered there with a negativity.
Yeah.
But you tell her that I like the way you're committed in cooking in this home, and I would want maybe you can improve on 1 or 2, 3 things.
Boil your meat longer.
There's nothing wrong in telling her that. Or put a little, less salt.
Yeah.
Or now you go to that man, I appreciate the way you pay this bill and that bill, but I feel I would need assistance in this one particular area.
Yes.
Now, when you put positivity in every conversation, you'll find marriage will progress.
Okay.
Just like you make reviews in an organization. You look and you say, why can't we do a bit more of aggressive marketing? Why can't we spend less on this and that? Do the same reviews in your marriage, especially when you are happy.
Yes.
Those Christmas moments when you go out, have a solid discussion and don't get in with criticism.
Yes.
Get in with appreciation. You have been doing this as a man, you have been doing this as a lady, I appreciate it, and now can we look on how we can make this marriage better? You'll be amazed how your marriage will become.
Is it then a good thing, Dr. Jane, to seek assistance, maybe from people who've done it before?
Yeah.
Probably a couple that is doing better than you, or is doing good. It could be parents. It could be a couple that you know, maybe friends, and you go tell, for example, from one woman to another, unamwambia, hey, mi kuna vile area fulani imenishinda. Or will it be bringing other people into your marriage too much?
No, that's why we need mentors. You go far and you go safely when you've got a mentor.
Yeah.
And a mentor has to be a couple, perhaps, or an individual who is agreed upon between the two of you, somebody whose integrity you trust, and who will not broadcast your challenges.
Yeah.
And so when you've got a mentor, it's easier for that person to show you, this is how you go about it when relationships are going this way. You don't quit, or you don't talk like this, you don't do things this way. And I know mentors are everywhere around us.
Yeah.
If you look at social gatherings, let's say perhaps wherever anybody goes for their religious purposes, there is somebody who stands out as a mentor. You can say, I'm going to hook up on this one to help me make my relationship work. In estates or in villages, we know of those women or men who have been known for their wisdom and stability. And so when you meet somebody and you can make them a mentor in your marriage, life becomes much easier. When you've got somebody to look up to, when you've got somebody who tells you this is not the way, because mentors are not there to flatter you. They tear it as it is, and then they chart the path forward.
Yeah. So you, for example, a Claire can go to a Jane and tell her, how do you make your husband come and eat supper every time?
Very easy. Yes.
Maybe my husband doesn't like
and I will want to know how you cook. And we need to help you.
Yeah.
And what he loves eating. And what attracts him to wherever he goes. Because if he goes to eat chicken or something, then that's what attracts him. How can we become better climate controllers?
Yeah, learn how to make chicken.
And also the climate of the home.
Yeah.
Do you know, as a woman, when you set the right climate, and it is good, it is happy throughout, everybody will want to come to that home. Children many years later will come home because there is a climate they want to enjoy, and your husband will long to come home. And understand, finally, his comfort zone. What is your husband's comfort zone? Every man is like a battery.
Yeah.
They go down by the end of the day.
Yeah. So
and they need to recharge. How does he recharge? Perhaps anakuja unaanza kumwambia mtu wa maziwa ametukuza kuchukua maziwa. No, perhaps
kuna deni kwa butchery.
Perhaps his recharge is a cup of tea, quiet moment, and a peaceful home.
Okay. Yeah. All right. How can we make also a home peaceful for a woman as we close?
No, one thing, as a man, you've got to learn how to appreciate. If she cooks, appreciate the number one that she cooked.
Yes.
No matter what she cooked.
Hata kama nile ulikuwa unasema zimeungua.
Hata kama zimeungua. Appreciate that she went to that kitchen and cooked, because there are women who don't cook. Number two, appreciate that when you find your home is clean, hata kama hakuna uchafu, appreciate that somebody did some work.
True.
But we usually come home and we don't have a man who is appreciating. Unasema tu bibi yangu kaa nyumbani. But if you are to sit in that home and see what they do, you'd realize there's so much. So learn to appreciate the effort. The results may not be so good. What the effort that she did may not bring very good results. But the fact that you appreciate the aspect of what she has done,
yes,
that is the beginning of everything. Even if you now tell her you need to improve on your cooking, she will listen.
Okay.
So just be a man who appreciates.
All right, there we have it. Be a man who appreciates, and most importantly for the woman, be a climate controller. Set the climate. Usikiwe wale wa kuharibu your place, alafu mwanze global warming kwa nyumba. But that's it, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in, of course, for all your calls, your WhatsApp messages as well. We do appreciate. We take a bow right now, but tomorrow we'll be back. It's Friday. It's going to be an absolutely amazing one. DJ Fulani atakuwa hapa hivi ndani, and of course Chef Manga. Remember, you guys asked us to cook ostrich, so stay tuned tomorrow morning to find out if indeed we are making that ostrich. But thank you very much. If you need to get in touch with Pastor Jane and Pastor Julius, just let us know and we'll definitely put you in touch. Otherwise, for now, tunasema kwaheri, but do not go too far. The Daily Brief is up next with Shiku Kaitani.